Welcome to My Educational Ideology, which is part of the EDU 224 module. This module has allowed me to gain a deeper understanding of what kind of teacher I want to become in the future. Through looking at research, my own educational experiences and the placements I have attended, it has enabled me to fully understand what my educational ideology is. So what is an ideology? From an educational perspective, an ideology can be defined as any package of educational ideas held by a group of people about the formal arrangements for education. In current schools today, there is a large emphasis on standardised testing, as many believe it's the only way to test a child's intelligence and their ability, which I believe is wrong. Tests and exams cause me personally to feel like a failure, as I was compared to my classmates who generally were always achieving better grades than me. I believe children could achieve a whole lot more if there wasn't so much pressure to achieve high grades and how clever they are perceived to be through the answers they provide in an exam. If we consider education in a global context and compare the use of testing to other countries, England is the only country that adopts this harsh method of teaching, which is why I believe the English education system fails. In Finland, schools don't have exams. Instead, they have one high school test at the end of the year, which determines if the child is ready for college. I can strongly say that the Finnish education system, in my opinion, is the most successful. Not only do I agree with their methods of teaching, but statistics help support this successfulness of their schools. Robinson states that Finland regularly appear at or close to the top of the PISA rankings for mathematics, reading and science, which proves that Finnish schools are making a positive impact on their pupils. Also, children in Finland don't attend school till the age of 7, which I agree with immensely. I'm convinced that this extra time allows the child to learn independently through their own experiences and through the decisions they make for themselves. I also believe it will allow them to fully understand what interests them and what their passions are, so that when they eventually start school, a teacher can identify and support their strengths even further. Finnish schools immerse themselves into child-centred approaches to learning, which focus purely on the child's interests and their needs. I agree with a child-centred approach to learning, and it's the approach I want to adopt in my classroom, as I believe the child's happiness is of paramount importance. In my eyes, a teacher should support pupils' interests before anything else, in order to produce children who are passionate, eager and have a love of learning. At school, activities that required creativity and the use of my imagination were always my favourite lessons, which is why I agree with Ken Robinson. Robinson states that we don't grow into creativity, we grow out of it, or rather we get educated out of it, which I believe to be true. Teachers are so focused on grades and exam results, children aren't allowed to express themselves anymore. He also states that a real education has to give equal weight to the arts, humanities and to physical education, which I also agree with. Allowing a child the chance to show their creativity within other subjects such as music, drama and art itself, I believe is just as important as teaching them how to multiply in maths and write a story in English. As an aspiring teacher, I would make sure to incorporate creativity within my lessons in order to give my pupils the chance to express themselves and use their imagination. Although I agree with using creativity within schools, I also agree with the 1997 White Paper Excellence in Schools, who states, "The first task of the Education Service is to ensure that every child is taught to read, write and add up, as these are basic skills that are needed in everyday life." Another key thinker I agree with is Maria Montessori. Montessori talks about the environment and how it can have a big impact on the way a child learns. I agree with this, as I suspect the wrong environment could cause a child to learn less due to losing focus and losing their motivation. Just like Montessori, I condone that classrooms should have light colours on the walls so that there is less distraction. Corresponding to this is Isaacs, who states that the walls of the classroom are not overly decorated to help children focus on self-selected activities, which again I agree with. Montessori also says that the classroom should have lots of spacing on tables and on the floor to allow children the chance to work in large groups, or even by themselves away from others if they want to. As well as this, Montessori suggests that the teacher should bring objects from the outside into the classroom to show children the effects of nature and what they produce. From this, it teaches children to be respectful to the environment, which is of utmost importance as it provides skills that can be used later in life. I believe if children are taught about the world and the negative effects we as humans have on the environment, it could have a positive impact on the things we do to cause it, which in turn is better for the globe. This also links to another aspect of my ideology, which is outdoor learning. Being outside is fun and interactive, but also gives the chance to experience learning outside the classroom environment. In addition, some of my most memorable times at school was when I went on school trips and visits to different places that correlated to what I was learning. I believe being offered the opportunity to go on school trips enhanced my social skills and my memory skills, as I had to work in groups with my classmates, but also recall what I had learned once back at school in my lesson. As an aspiring teacher, I would try to incorporate the outdoors into my teaching and take my pupils onto school trips that will give them experience of the outside world. In summary, my ideology is based on several ideas and concepts. It includes the reduction of standardised testing and grading, aspects of Finnish education, the use of creativity within lessons, aspects of Montessori education including the use of nature indoors, and outdoor learning including school trips and residential trips. I believe following these points creates what in my eyes is a better education for children of the future, and as a teacher, I hope I can bring my ideology to life and make my vision a reality. Thank you for watching my educational ideology.